Hey everyone, welcome to week 5. This week we are going to be learning about the Environmental Protection Agency, commonly known as the EPA. So the EPA is a government agency and it regulates issues that affect our environment. And I think every company is subject to the EPA because every company has some type of emissions that will affect our environment. So it's important that each company knows how to comply with the regulations and follows them. Okay, so if you don't know much about the EPA, the lecture materials this week should definitely help you. There's a lot of great information in there. The discussion board will also relate to the EPA and specifically the Clean Air Act. So we'll be able to also have some great discussions about it as you read through the materials and read each other's discussion board posts. The assignment, we have 2 assignments this week. The first assignment is a case study also relating to the EPA. Basically, back in 2015, Volkswagen, the car company, had a scandal where it violated some environmental regulations. And so in the assignment, you'll see that there are some resources for you to view and read, and you'll then do a study about what happened and what Volkswagen should have done, and you can give some recommendations. Okay, so I think that all the materials that you need are in the assignment itself or in your lecture materials. And please reach out if you have any questions as you work through it. And then the second assignment this week is the second part of the portfolio project. So if you go back to the portfolio project instructions, you'll see that once again, you're the security consultant for Laguna Productions, and we're picking up a year after we left off when you had given your recommendations to the company about securing anti-theft protections for PII. And a year later, it turns out that the company decided not to make that investment in security preventative measures, and they ended up getting hacked. And thousands of people were subject to this identity theft where PII was stolen for all of these individuals. And so now the board of directors has come back to you again as a security consultant to put together a presentation where you explain a few different things. So you'll see if you look at the portfolio project, there's a few different bullets. So basically we want you to create a PowerPoint that's 10 to 12 slides that clearly describes what happened, the issue, which was that the PII was stolen, and then identify some common law theories and some statutory theories of liability under California and New York law. So I think most of you already figured out the statutory rules, so you can go back and see, maybe do a little bit more research to see if you can find some examples of cases where things like this have happened in the past and what statutes would apply, and if there's any specific theories of liability that the company should be worried about. Maybe you can see if you can find any examples of companies that got sued for this exact reason. And you should focus your search in California and New York. Okay, and then you're going to maybe do a slide or two on any ethical actions that Laguna can take going forward to mitigate any harm that they caused to their investors. And you should recommend how to avoid this problem in the future and going forward. Okay, so 10 to 12 slides, a little bit more outside research. You definitely have a good base from what you did from the first part, so you just want to build on that a little bit with some more specific examples. In week 6, you're going to be using this PowerPoint and you're going to add a voiceover presentation, but that's not till week 6. So for week 5, it's just the PowerPoint, but just keep in mind that the next week you'll be adding to it with the voiceover. Okay, so hopefully this is helpful information. If you have any questions on any of this as you work through it, please reach out to me, and I look forward to our discussions this week. Thanks.